Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. It is just now pre-dawning out here on the river where I'm at this morning. It is 6:13 a.m. We have a bit of time before sunrise, but not much. I did not bring big lights, so we're starting very dim, a bit dark, but only for a few seconds. Come on. We have that light and we have this light. And with just this little bit of light that I have with me comes thousands and thousands of mosquitoes. You turn the light off and they're still there, so bear with me. Here it comes. Four-aught kale on a steel leader. We're going to use fillet style cuts this morning. Obviously gets it done fast. Both my rigs are exactly the same. Kales, 4 ounces of lead, steel leader, 80-pound braid. I'm gonna go ahead and get both baits out real quick. That light is coming fast, as you can see. We don't have much time left in the dark. Hopefully the mosquitoes disappear with the darkness. We can just hope, right? And just like that, both baits are out. Not gonna bother filming the casting bit when it's kind of too dark to do that. So one bait, this one in particular, is really far out. The first one I did is not. That is intentional. We are fishing over a drop off and we're in a bend. We're real close to a sandbar. So we want to take advantage of fish that are feeding closer to that drop off and fish that are feeding further out from it. Actually, things change a lot just really fast. Casting out this way is a little bit different of a depth than where we put the last bait. That is a little deeper, this is a little shallower. So different fish, different opportunities. We could get gar closer in, could get gar further out. And there's a reason why the emphasis is heavy on gar, but we're hoping for other things as well. And because I have an emphasis on gar, I mean, I would like to catch a gar today here. I also need to get this rope out for that reason. It's looking beautiful, right? Early morning pre-dawn is always something to behold. All right, Shandong shipping is what it says on that, and we're getting a bite. I'm gonna disengage my bait runner. This is, yeah, we've got a fish here. Thank you, Shandong. I'm not sure if Shandong brought us that bite because he wouldn't even really pass this bait or close to it, but he probably did bring it to us because he probably made fish scurry around. He's going really, really slow compared to the wake that was in the dark that you could just hear, not see so much. That was more pronounced. His wake will come and come up here to meet us. Okay, we have our fish at a drop off and we need to gently try to get him to come up it. Gently pick up on the rod. Hopefully we didn't lose the fish doing that. And I don't feel a fish. Very possible that that was a gar. There is a strong emphasis on gar plus saltwater species. We still have our bait. It looks fine enough to put it right back out there. And Shandong's wake is here. We're getting another bite on the rod that I was just dealing with. I'm just gonna watch. It's not much of anything yet. let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, the weather. Real quick one today because there's not much weather today. We have no wind at the moment, and for the next several hours, probably this whole session, no wind. High humidity, hence why the mosquitoes are thick right now. We have a very, very low percentage of rain at the moment. However, I won't be surprised if we see lightning way off in the distance on the other side of the river, because that's been occurring this morning, but we're not supposed to have any rain, but that could change. I don't see it happening during this session. Still getting that bite. Let's talk about everybody's second best topic, their second favorite topic. River conditions. We have a high salinity count because we have the pure salt water creeping up over the sill that is around Myrtle Grove, but we're a good ways north of that. However, even though that straight up salt water is still south of us but close, this is fairly brackish, so saltwater species are present. Most of you that watch this channel already know that. How about everybody's third favorite topic, the tide? There are people that don't believe me when I say the river is tidal, but of course it is tidal. We have a significant tide and it's rising right now. High tide is at 11:35 a.m. this morning, and it's going to get more and more significant as we get through the week because we are just a few days before the full moon, and the full moon is the reason why the tide gets more and more significant. And then when we get past that full moon, the tide will be significant and then drop. Brother, look at that sunrise. We can't really see it yet because of the trees, but the trees kind of make it kind of cool. But yeah, you're right. Let's talk about everybody's fourth favorite topic, location. All right, I'm not going to give you directions to where I'm at, but I will vaguely tell you about where I'm at in a roundabout way. We're on the east bank in a bend, and we're looking upriver right now. Just around that bend, going this way, is Lower Algiers, and then the other side of the ICW, which this is all on the west bank we're talking about. Algiers is on the west bank, and I'm not. I'm on the east bank. Lower Algiers is south of the ICW. Algiers proper is north of the ICW. I'm mentioning Algiers because I want to reply to a comment. I want to react to a comment. Oh, we might be catching a fish before I can do that though, but I'll address the comment while we're dealing with this. We just had a slack line, fish picked it up. We still have the bait runner engaged. Just for the reason that I'm expecting gar here, let's just see what happens. Okay, nope. Let's catch this fish instead of seeing what happens. Well, you're gonna see what happens. You're gonna see what happens as I try to keep, okay, I got head shakes, so this is not a gar, and they're kind of machine gun, so I might have a good sized gaff top. The comment that I wanna react to, I'm sorry, I can't remember which particular video it was on last week because this is a new week, but it has to do with salt water. It may have been the video where I was talking about drinking water is getting affected by the salt water creeping up the river, the salt water intrusion or incursion, I've also heard it called. Anyway, I was in one of these videos where I had talked about that. There was two of them. I said, you know, there's a lot of saltwater species in the river near me. Not a lot of blue cats or flatheads or channel, but just mostly saltwater. And someone left a comment saying that, I guess on Saturday it was, that they were fishing the river in Algiers and only catching blue catfish and flatheads. I don't know if that was just a general comment they made or if they were contesting what I was saying, but I know why. I have a good idea anyway, why they were only catching freshwater cats opposed to me mostly catching saltwater cats. Two different places in the river. The river is totally different around that bend and going up a little bit. The deepest part of the Mississippi River is actually right off of Algiers Point, and it can fluctuate between 220 something feet to 240 feet year by year. That depth goes up, but that's the deepest part. So deep holes in the river down here are going to have more freshwater stock, you know, just more freshwater, and therefore more freshwater species hanging out. Blue cats can tolerate some brackish water, but once that salinity count gets to a certain point, they're going to check out. Every fish and everybody has their breaking point with adverse conditions. That is a big gaff top right there. Yeah, you're right. Wow, this early morning light, this golden light, sometimes we call this the golden hour, but the golden hour happens twice a day, usually if you're lucky, sunrise and sunset. This is just awesome looking. I'm enjoying making this video because it is beautiful looking through this camera's lens. Yeah, you're right. That is sweet. You can go home because I don't want you in particular. Well, we have a little more light and a little less mosquitoes, but they're still tickling. And this hand towel should be a little closer. Haven't got any love on the rod with the silver tape yet. Might just be the difference between where these baits are, because I told you it is very different. Where this bait is going, it is not very deep, but not super shallow. It's probably about 30 feet, and this one is in between 40 and 50. To some people that sounds like really deep water. Relatively, that's not in comparison to what is down here as far as holes go. A deep hole can be 100 and something. Sometimes in some places 20 feet is a deep hole. Like on certain creeks, shoot, 15, even 10 can be the deepest hole, or even less than that. So it's comparative, right? Relative. It is what it is. That sky, woo, beauty. It is just beauty to be held, to behold. Yeah, you're right. I'm digging these clouds. I've always, throughout my life, seen clouds like this as seasonal changing clouds. Like when I see clouds in the sky high like that, scalloped like that, it's usually around a time of year where the season is changing. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but that's how I've been seeing it my whole life. Maybe they happen all the time, and I just notice them around these times of year when seasons are changing, because the season is changing. It's not going to be hot. It's not going to be cool today. It's going to be 89 degrees. For some people, that's way too hot. For other people, they're turning the heat on. Well, maybe I'm just joking, you know, being a little exaggerative there. I do know people that complain, say it's cold when it's like 72 degrees here, and they got their truck heat on when it's 68. I might be seeing some love on the silver tape rod. There is a very subtle bit of movement on the tip. When you're going to do fillet style baits with bluegill, that first one is only going to have the bone in it, right? The second one, you can have more bone in it, like the spine and everything. So this first bit with almost no bone in it, maybe just the ribs, is going to get washed out real fast. Now, we could throw this back out just like that. That might be its final run though. There's a great possibility of bull shark, of course, because they're here. The river is still warm. It's around 86, 87 degrees this morning. The water temp is 2.8 is what the flood gauge level is reading up at Carrollton. So yeah, it's really low. It's going to stay that way for a good while. as I look out, I've seen a few gar top. Alligator gar can tolerate a high salinity count, much higher than a lot of other fish. And this water temp, being so warm as it is good for them. And bull shark are up here for the same reason, because they like that warm water. If this water temp drops significantly by like 20 degrees, things are going to change. The gar aren't going to be super active, and the bull shark might not be here. The gaff top might not be here, or it's just going to be far less, right? Because they're going to really start going when this water temp starts to drop rapidly as we get into November, October, because this is September right now. Wow, this is just a good spot that I'm putting this bait. Not really. I saw a little bit of something over there, but this one's getting another tap. I bet you anything this full moon tide that we're going to feel as we get through the week is going to push that salt water over the sill and just further up, because it's going to be significant. That is, if it's not already over the sill. It probably is, but we're just going to have that heavy saltwater line further up once we get through this full moon. Okay. Do I feel head shakes? I think I do, but they're not machine gun. They're not feeling like, oh, there we go. There was some fast pulsing head shakes. This might be another gaff top. It's good. Whoa, what was that? Something big right there. Nice and easy, because we're about to be at a wall of mud. I think we got a decent hookup compared to that first take, that first run. That may have been a gar. I didn't feel any head shakes with that particular fish, but yeah, as soon as we hit the drop off, it was just like boom, like something let go. It just wasn't there all of a sudden. Well, that can happen with cats too. I haven't felt the drop off yet, or I'm coming up it now and it just doesn't feel extreme. This fish should be close by now. There he is. He's trying to cut to the right. All right. About 20 feet out in front of me now. Nice little fight. I think we do have a gaff top. Oh my goodness. That was a big gar. Maybe I should put this bait a little closer in, because I do have this bait a bit further out from where that big alligator gar just rolled. Looks like the one I just threw back. Biggin. Yeah, you're right. I'm actually wanting to catch just a monster, a giant Neanderthal. I was up there at the bike. I was getting a bait ready. Oh. Oh, that was that gar. I locked my bait runner down too early. As soon as there was tension, there was no fish. Now we can see that sunrise. It is just now coming over the horizon. You see it through the trees there? The rod with the silver tape is in that area. That bait is in that area where we saw the big gar roll. It's not far out. I have less lead on that now. I'm just using 2 ounces of lead. That'll ensure that I'm always close in when I do a power cast. It's not going to go as far as a 4, but we don't really need a 4 there. The less weight we have on, if we have just the minimum that we need, when the gar picks that up, he's not going to feel that. That's not going to spook him. And we have kind of a loose drag on our bait runner. Just like when he first picked it up, he should be able to pick it up and take line. And next time when I think it's a gar, I'm going to let him run till I'm about halfway down in my reel. I think this is a catfish. We're hooked up. I'm waiting to feel those head shakes. Yeah, I feel head shakes. We got another cat. Those big gar are still going back and forth. One just rolled over there. They're staying close in. They're just hoovering up the bait. That's what it looks like. Patrolling back and forth. I'm not worried about the size of my bait. Some people are like, oh, you need a big bait for big gar. No, they're eating everything right now. Okay, come on, fish. Now he's up against that drop off. I saw a comment this morning. There's a lot of comments this morning on yesterday. Did I lose that fish? Dang it. Well, still got the bait, looks fairly intact. Yeah, I saw a comment this morning. Someone asked, why in the hell would someone with such a high skill of fishing dumpster dive? Something to that effect, right? Because I scored some pizza, it seemed all right, then all of a sudden I realized it was not. I'll tell you what, that's the way I came up, straight from the streets. You know, when I first came to New Orleans, I was homeless and I worked my way off the streets. I got my first apartment just by playing my guitar on the sidewalk, and then I got a more dependable job. When I was younger, I had to deal with being homeless, especially when I was traveling, many times, and I survived either by picking up jobs here or there or dumpster diving. The way things are going these days, that is a skill that I do not regret. I do not feel ashamed of, because things are getting so expensive. Anything you can do to make your life better when you just need to survive, do it. Don't give a damn what people say. But definitely, I must say, once gag reflexes kick in, do not swallow. if you're starting to feel gaggy or whatever, do not swallow. Spit it out. That sounded wrong on so many levels. Yeah, it's not just fishing that I have a high level of skill in. I like learning stuff. I like being independent and surviving. I've learned how to survive a long time ago. I even enjoy growing my own food. So dumpster diving, it's good for the chickens, it can be good for you, and it can also make you puke. Look at the size of what's coming. They get bigger, and that one's coming fast. Oh, look, there's bait right in there. See that? Look, he's sucking the water out, sucking it back from the bank. Now he's pushing it. Yeah, that's relatively small, but on the river, oh wow, look at all that he's sucking out. On the river, he looks big. Look at all that mud that's right there in front of me. Oh. Ah. All right, so now we're putting on a 6/0 octopus on a steel leader. I hit something out there that cut the line is what happened there. This time I'm going to put out a steak style piece of bait. Just like that. Nice. This is a cat. Got a good fight to them, but those head shakes are so close together. Big guess, right? Big guess what it is. You're correct. Probably. Let's get them up here before we start saying gaff top, but oh, probably. Those are tight head shakes, very rapid. Here he comes. Oh, he spooked some mullet. There's been some mullet coming in close. Smaller gaff top this time. Man, even the small ones fight like crazy. Tiny little thing. Okay. There you are. I know I haven't caught too many gaff top or too many fish because that's all I've caught. But I've lost count. I don't know, what is this, number 5? 4 or 5, something like that. I wonder if this is a gaff top because I don't feel those head shakes that I should feel. Oh, I feel something right there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we have. Hope I don't hit what cut the line earlier. And he's over the drop off and should be revealing himself very soon. Wow, you little guys really pack a punch. It's like the same one I just caught. Let's see what kind of bait this is right here. Well, I got one mullet. It's a nice one too. And I've got massive slack line. I just had a hit on this black rod. Let's get over there. That slack line just picked up. It's super tight. We could play a tune on it. Let's get that right there. He's not taking drag. I'm giving him some line. He's still got it tight. Let's lock that down and see if he's here. Jack him. was a bit better of a fight here. Watch it be like the tiniest one I've caught all morning. Oh, nice. I do feel head shakes. I think it's a gaff top. I would like it to be something else though. I might have a bite on the other rod too. Oh, okay. Oh, that is a hardcore bit of a drop off right there. Is this, oh, hold on. Let's let him try to back off it. Now pick him up. He backed off. I wonder if this is where we encountered something that sliced through my line. See if I can gently get him up it. This is just not budging. Where are we at with the other rod? I don't see any movement on it. There's a bit of a slack line. Okay, so he backed up a little bit. Oh, come on. I'm gonna come out here. There is a bit of a clay mound in front of me that is stable enough for me to walk out on. I'm gonna come this way. He's still with me. He's taking the line. What do I have you up against? Whoa. I'm gonna be careful where I step here. Whoa. I got him off whatever that was. All right, now I'm gonna, that's a decent gaff top. Come on over. That is decent, good size. Most of these have been, well, what, like maybe half and half, right? Half good size is half small. Not the worst day. That is a good sized mullet. That's not for this session. We'll use that tomorrow. Oh, I nipped around the corner real quick to see if I could get more mullet. Yeah, I did. Look at that. Oh, I think that's too much. Ow, they're slapping my legs. Is that all mullet? I thought I felt teeth dig into me. Yeah, it's all mullet. I'm not actually gonna put up bait right now. That's one of the things I could do. I could take these home and vacuum pack them and freeze them, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pick a few, let the rest go. Okay, we have one in the tote already. We're gonna keep these two because they're huge. Then this one, that makes 4. And we'll take 5. I know 6 is what you would expect, right? But these are huge. You're taking the big ones, and we'll let these guys go. Well, that's this session packed up. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, guys. Liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you next time.